smoking, but when they hear this song, they'll learn there's more to toking. 25,000 different things we can make from it, and if we give it a chance, we'll save the blinking planet. Food, fuel and medicine, necessities for life, a benefit to all of us, our wonder and delight. Within this smelly weed, there's more than meets the eye, so much, much more than smoking, it can cleanse our dirty skies. Cannabis, cannabis, we'll save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is a very useful weed. Cannabis, cannabis, we'll save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is very good indeed.
Wednesday, it's Hemp Works. It's time for hemp. And tonight, we've got free cannabis on. Because on Monday, due to a technical difficulty called the production manager, Bav, who supplied us with 2 wrong telephone numbers, unfortunately, we only had half time with Free, and we want full time. So thank you, Free, for coming back tonight.
Pleasure.
Right. So how are you, Free? You okay?
I'm very well. I'm lying in the sun actually outside.
Oh, how blessed.
Looking at the sun.
Oh, unfortunately, it's been a bit rainy in Hastings for 2 days.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, we get that sort of microclimate down here, as I'm sure you do as well. Oh, that's lovely. So you're outside the shop. It's a nice sunny day.
I know. I'm out in my garden. I'm left shop.
Oh, fabulous.
Done that for the delay.
How are the plants looking? What plants have you got in the garden?
I've got some Maroc and some purple Maroc. I started a load of auto flowering off on at the weekend. They're just sprouting through now. Yeah. So yeah,
I thought they're very good. Those autos for outdoors.
Yeah, they're good for quick turnaround, stay short as well. So they're becoming increasingly popular, especially people who've never grown a plant before. They want to grow something on their windowsill, and it's perfect for that. Just 3 little plants in a trough or something on the window box. Ideal. The more people that do it, the better. Yeah. Especially people just growing it on exposed window boxes, so it just becomes commonplace. Like the cannabis plants growing outside my shop now on the council flower display, they're getting way bigger than all the other plants, and I'm really pleased to say no one's taken them. It's great. It's the longest it's the biggest I've seen them grow, certainly outside my shop ever.
Good.
About 8 inches tall maybe now.
Beautiful. And they are such a nice plant to look at, aren't they?
Oh, it's such a beautiful plant.
They are a beautiful plant to look at. There's no doubt. I've never met anybody that... And it's funny, I tell you, Free, when I've been out at all these festivals and sort of, I've done some big stuff as well, like the sort of what might not... It's mainstream, but it's sort of Babylon mainstream. And
like Reading Festival, things like that.
More sort of like Excel in London and natural food products and,
Oh, right, okay, so more the trade fairs.
Yeah, more the trade fairs. And
okay.
And I always used to try and take a plant out with me. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. And one, I actually never got in any trouble for it. Yeah. And 2, I was always amazed at how many people knew what it looked like.
Yeah. Of course, it's in our DNA, mate.
Oh, yeah, isn't it? Oh, I know what that is. It must be the most recognisable plant on the planet. Sure. And when you think because it's banned, it sort of makes it even a bit more bizarre, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That they banned it and everybody knows what it is. It's great. So what else have you got growing in the garden besides auto seeds and cannabis?
Well, I've laid a turf, which I'm really pleased with. That's what I'm lying on at the moment. It's my new grass. I planted some roses. I've got mint and... but mainly cannabis, actually. I have an allotment, so on my council, I've got nasturtiums growing around the cannabis plants. But yeah, I don't have a very big garden, so I make pretty much all space I can utilise for growing cannabis.
Well, that's good.
Because anything else I can grow on my allotment. On my allotment, I've got like fruit bushes, raspberries, gooseberries, strawberries, chockberries, which I'd never heard of before, but they're doing really well. Japanese wineberries, blackberries.
Honestly, I know it's not new food, but some of the food we have access to these days is quite staggering, isn't it? I remember the first time I saw one of those, the smelly fruit. Is it the durian?
Oh, the durian. Yeah, I've been eating durian at the weekend.
Oh, they're lovely, aren't they? But I remember seeing one of those about 10, 15 years ago, and I thought he was an alien from space.
Yeah.
And of course, again, when you break it open and the smell, and the taste are just two different. Yeah.
Well, so you either like it or you actually detest it. Like in Malaysia and Thailand, it's illegal to have it in a hotel or on a public transport or any aeroplanes or in confined public spaces. They're very frowned upon. A lot of people don't like them.
That's
I love them.
Yeah. Oh,
in fact, David Wolf wrote in I think it's Sun Food Diet Success System, a good friend of mine once told me that the most two perfect foods are cannabis and durian. And when we asked him who it was, he said, well, it was actually, allegedly, he said it was himself, because if he said it himself and people would, that Sun Food Diet Success, that was written over 10 years ago now, I think.
Cool,
so people weren't so switched on to like cannabis being a food. Because it's still, I've got like a poster up in my shop window, and it says cannabis a dietary essential, best eaten fresh and wild, and then it makes the reference to Dr. Courtney about it being the only food group to support all 210 cell sites, so they function effectively. But when people see cannabis a dietary essential, I've had so many people laugh at that. And so many people stop and read it. So people want to know. And there's an increasing number, but that's the way that truth goes. Firstly, it's ridiculed, then violently opposed until it's finally accepted as truth, or referred to or swapped around. I can't quite remember which way it is, but it's definitely getting into into the human consciousness that hemp is an incredible food to eat, which is really good.
It is. It's actually. I don't think you should live on any one type of food, personally, but if you did get stuck, I think my choice would be possibly hemp seed. If I was on that desert island sort of, thing, and I was only allowed one food to take with me.
Well, get some hemp seed and then grow it, and then you've got a whole supply of food to come.
Tell them that bit. We won't tell them that bit. They think I'm just taking it there for food, and they come back in 10 years and they find out I've got a house.
You got lush, exactly.
And gardens, and
exactly.
Really healthy, and I've got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where should we go from there, Rob? But should we stay with the nutritional bit? Free?
Yeah, can do. I'd like to clarify something, because I was clarifying what I'd said on the first show about having grown I said 10-meter plant. I mean, I could rectify that to 10 foot. Did I hear you right? That in Japan there was somewhere where it was growing an 18-meter plant.
Yeah, they grew an 18-meter. If you look in Chris Conrad's book, I believe it is. It's in one of them. It's either one of them sort of the first books that came out.
Okay.
After Jack's. It was.
That'll be Hemp Lifeline for the Future.
That would be Hemp Lifeline for the Future from Chris Conrad.
Yeah, I know the one.
There was a few books around that time, and it was certainly, it might have been Richard Rose's book, but it was a picture of an 18-meter plant.
Wow.
In Kyoto University, and apparently they've been growing this particular strain there since the days of wherever. Yeah.
Oh wow!
And it really, and there was a man standing underneath it, and it just was like this big tree. I also heard as well, it was never clarified, but when they done the George Washington's house, I believe at Rushmore at Vermont, when they started doing up his house and repairing it all, out in the forest they did find a big tree. And I'll tell you the guy that told me. Apparently he had worked on the house, and he visited me in my shop in Brighton, so it was from first hand. And I've got no reason to disbelieve this guy. But he said they found one out in the forest around by his house, George Washington. And they didn't know what it was. So they called the tree expert people in, and they didn't know what it was. And eventually they found out it was just one plant that had been growing since the days of George Washington. It just kept growing and growing and growing.
Oh, right. Because I have heard it becoming an annual if the conditions are right.
Yeah, and apparently...
perennial, rather, perennial.
Yeah, and this was the width of two grown men couldn't get their arms around the trunk. But again, I know I saw a picture of that. I've never had it verified. It might just be an urban myth. But yeah, I think it's feasible. It certainly could be. You could screw that long year after year. I've seen some pretty big plants about. Yeah. Okay,
so should we chat a bit more about the nutrition then?
Yeah, because on the nutrition, that's one thing you don't want. You don't want to grow a plant that's really tall, because you end up with all your seed 10 metres or 5 metres or 4 metres. You end up with it in the sky. So when you grow for seed, you want a particular variety that you grow low to the ground, and it gives better seed heads. When you grow tall, because you don't want your seed head sort of 6 foot, 10 foot up in the head, because it makes it very difficult to harvest.
But
so you want.
I must admit, I've never grown hemp as an industrial food crop, and I don't know much hemp grown in this country for that. Well, I say this country, talking from, speaking in Britain. I know this is going out worldwide, but
well,
in Britain, all the hemp seed that I've ever received from farmers who've grown it in this country hasn't really been very mature. It's very pale and light in colour. My feeling is that it's due to the fact that a lot of the hemp... Actually, before we go on to the nutrition, I'd like to clarify again this whole thing about the etymology of hemp and cannabis, because it's all semantics, all different words, but ultimately it is the same plant. It's just it's being bred in different ways, and hemp as a word, it's about 1,000 years old. Cannabis, it's lost in antiquity. How far does it go back? How long have we been calling it cannabis? It's a Latin Greek word, possibly with the canna, I think it is in Sanskrit as well. But the sort of academic etymology is from its canna, cane, bis too. So it's the twin cane. My take on it was like I did in that poem on the first show, wasn't it? Oh no, it was last time, wasn't it? When I talked about on Monday, it was when I talked about cannabis, as in canna dog, bis two dog star Sirius. But this is in fact a gift from Sirius, and the whole Dogon, the tribe story of Assyrians from star system Sirius coming to Earth with cannabis as a gift for humanity. And there's that take on it. But anyway, the word hemp now many people take to mean purely an industrial strain of cannabis. Now, from what I gather, apparently in one of Robert Connell Clark's books, he maintains that for northern temperate climates, the THC content of indigenous natural hemp would be between 2 and 3%. Now, in the 1950s, agrochemists started in France, hybridizing, selectively breeding cannabis to produce a strain which had virtually no THC in it. That's unnatural. It would have somewhere, as I say, between 2 and 3%. And then this unnatural variety or strain of hemp cannabis was called hemp. And then it's like the term for hemp has purely been used to describe like an industrial variety of cannabis with a THC content of 0.3% or lower. So it's almost like the word's been hijacked, and to describe this like mutant plant. It's I still have I'll still grow like the industrial hemp seeds because they're abundant, they're easy to get hold of, and you can grow a whole patch of them for greens because it's good. But what would be better, and what I hope for, is that there's that we can bring back some of the old strains, because I've heard there are certain seed banks that do apparently, allegedly, have some of the old strain hemp that was grown in this country pre-1950s. And I'll be intrigued to see what that grows like, whether it would actually mature, because historically I feel that we have in Britain, we have a longer history growing hemp as a fibre crop than ever as a seed crop, because I just don't feel we've got the sun. So I'm hoping that as the interest in hemp seed increases, because I'm still at the moment I'm only selling Chinese hemp seed in my shop. I haven't been able to get any hold of any French or Austrian or German as I have in previous years. It's just like all the suppliers I go to, all they've got is Chinese. But anyway, how about, and I'm just putting this out there, that hopefully that there'll be some bit of seed breeding or hybridizing to produce a variety of hemp that will grow outside and flower extra early. So maybe put some ruderalis genetics, crossing a ruderalis with a hemp. So you've got an auto hemp. So the seeds can mature properly, and then we can have good high quality hemp seed for eating in this country, rather than just getting it from abroad all the time.
prior to this resurrection, sort of 1993 onwards, of agricultural hemp being grown back in the UK.
Yeah.
We, as you know, and many people know, England has a very long history of very fine hemp growing in the UK. We imported a lot, but we also grew a lot, especially around the south coast and down where sort of along Dorset, around Poole. In fact, Poole in Dorset won many awards at the Calcutta International Hemp Expo for its very fine rope making.
When was that, roughly, do you know?
That was from, I believe it had a dispensation from Queen Anne. The Tyburn Act was 1740, where Queen Anne was so impressed with the city of Poole and its rope making, she gave them a special dispensation not to pay any tax.
Oh, right, okay.
That's how important it was. Because they made such good ropes. She said, these people, right, let's treat them nice, don't let them pay tax. So we definitely had a strain in the UK, which was most probably classified, if we were classifying plantain, as an English variety. Now, there's two places you'll find it. One is in closed monasteries in the UK, because closed monasteries still use hemp. Yeah, they have to.
Closed monasteries?
Closed monasteries.
Oh, monasteries.
Monasteries, yeah, sorry.
Like where monks hang out.
Yeah, where monks hang out, that's it. Yeah, the closed ones still use it because they have to, because of the sustainability of it, and they put it in their gruel, in their porridge, and I believe they still make their cloth from it. That's why they wear those old hair shirts. So that's one source that we could look into. And there's another source, I believe the University of Bangor in Wales has some indigenous hemp seed that was found in Norfolk that would have been prior to about 1850, because they found a retting pit down there, and when they turned it over, it all started to sprout. And they looked at the old parish records, and this retting pit had not been used since the 1850s. So the chances are the seeds that they found in there were prior to that date, unless somebody had come along in the last 150 years and sprinkled a load of newer French variety seed on top. Yeah, so there is, and I know round in Devon, down by, I can't remember the name of the town, we found some wild agricultural hemp, ruderalis, cannabis, whatever that name is. We found some old stuff going down by a river down by there, and we met two old ladies, and they really were the two old ladies with the little cottage at the end of the gate opened out onto the river sort of thing. Yeah, and they were two sisters, and they'd lived there for about 80 years, and their mum and dad had lived there before them, and they always remembered that it was growing along the banks of this river. Yeah, so that would have been prior. That would have sort of been prior to 19 sort of.
And you know why it was going along the river banks? For the horses.
No, for the horse. Yeah.
That's what Paul Dean, who does the hemp oil, that's what he told me. He said it used to go along all the towpaths for the horses to eat on the way.
Yeah, I bet it did. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, listen, we're going to take the first break for it. Okay. You know the score, so we're going to pay the advertisers, or the advertisers are going to pay us, and then we can back after the break.
You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is hemp.org.
In need of a ganja vacation? Blaze away.
Don't criticize it.
Hotbox Jamaica. Chill.
Legalize it, yeah.
Relax. And burn all day while watching the amazing ocean view. Listen to the birds. Bathe in the mineral waters of the Ganja River. Munch on tasty Jamaican Rasta food. Take a weed farm tour and hold a meditation. Book this amazing vacation for $420. Get the Sativa Special. 7 nights in Sativa dorms with ganja meals and airport transfer. Check us out at hotboxjamaica.com. That's hotboxjamaica.com. Hotbox Jamaica, a higher meditation vacation.
Indigrow is your source for affordable induction grow lighting. First discovered in 1891 by Nikola Tesla, Indigrow lights deliver 11 years of electronic sunlight to your plants. Indigrow lamps require less than half the power of traditional HID lamps. Converting to Indigrow lights means you'll cut down on your power bill with less lighting. Indigrow lamps also use 5 times less mercury than traditional fluorescent or HID lamps, making Indigrow not only energy efficient but environmentally friendly as well. No more switching out lamps between vegetative and flowering stages. As nature intended, your lights get a steady dose of UV light. That makes your plants grow healthier and stronger. Indigrow products are manufactured in San Diego, California, and come with a written 10-year warranty. What Tesla knew, then growers know now, is that Indigrow lighting is the cost-effective addition to your victory garden. To learn more or order now, go to inda-grow.com. That's INDA-GRO.com, or call 877-452-2244 to answer any of your questions. These guys really know lights. Indigrow really is your sunlight in a box.
Education and information. See what all the buzz is all about. It's time for hemp. It's time for hemp.
Very desperate need is medicinal, always pure, and it helps to ease the pain. And if you're feeling down, my friend, it'll pick you up again. Cannabis, cannabis will save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is a very useful weed. Cannabis, cannabis will save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is very good indeed.
Right, before the break, we were talking about seed varieties. I think my view on it at the moment, Free, is we're in that time period now where we're crossing over, and I think within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a lot more information about what seeds are available, what seeds are still around, what ancient seeds we have. I think people are going to start opening up a bit. I know that there was one people in Italy that have been hiding some seed, because basically this particular type of hemp seed, agricultural cannabis seed, for an industrial end use rather than the medical or recreational end use, they found some seed that goes back all the way to Roman times. Yeah, and they've been looking after that, and they've been not crossbreeding it, but they've been on a seed breeding program. So I think there'll be more seeds like that come out that are rarely, technically, you're not supposed to have them. But people have had them, and they've been looking after them.
When you say technically not supposed to have them, because of the fact that they would grow a plant with a THC content above 0.3% or whatever it is?
We don't quite know. It's just that the European Commission has got a list of seed which you are allowed to use. And
that off a common seed catalogue?
Pretty much so, yeah. It's the agricultural policy on hemp growing. And on that list, there's only about 3 different varieties that are actually available and that you can grow. And all those 3 are not particularly that well suited for the UK climate. And out of that 3, none of them are really suited for seed variety. Yeah?
Exactly.
So we're tied down to using one particular variety of seed, which is a French variety, which is fine in France. I love it. It's a great variety. But I don't like having to use a French variety of seed.
Which one is that? Is it a Finola?
It's the Finola. The Finola is the predominant seed in Europe.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because there is literally, I've seen hundreds. Yeah. How many of them actually exist anymore? I don't know. Because
of all the seeds I've ever come across, I'd say the Compulsi is one of the best.
Beautiful.
The Hungarian old school.
I go for that every day of the week. Yeah. I totally agree with you.
I know it'll grow in this country. We just got. I mean, it grows above the 0.3%, but I really feel that there's.
Actually. No, Compulsi doesn't.
Oh, right. Okay.
It stays below the 0.3%.
Okay.
One of the problems they actually changed the law to make it at 0.2%, and they couldn't get Compulsi down that far. Compulsi naturally grows at 0.3.
Okay.
Yeah. Which used to be legal to be able. That used to come under agricultural hemp and not cannabis sort of stuff. Oh, God, honestly, the laws they make
Isn't it nonsense?
Thank you, Free. It's just I've spent nearly 20 years studying them, and I'm
bureaucratic bullshit.
I'm more confused today than I was when I started.
Yeah.
And all it seems to be is it's there to confuse you, no matter how far you go down.
And to irritate.
Oh, well,
I feel a lot of it is done to irritate people. Because irritation creates stress and anger, and that's what I feel that some of these people feed on.
Yeah.
They want people to be wound up and angry and stressed out, because they feed on that energy.
Yeah. And
I'm convinced of that. I just want to give you a little side story. I went to Stratford Station a while back, and it's the worst station I've ever been to. Like, mostly when you go into a British Rail or a National Rail station, they have a big display telling you what platform to go to. Nothing like that at Stratford. Then you go off to another little thing, and then you find somewhere this, and then eventually, and I missed my train by, I don't know, 20 minutes, my connecting train, so I had to wait another hour, and it was just like stress. I got really wound up by it, and it was only later when I was discussing it with my partner that she came up with the idea of, well, that's where the Olympic Village was. Think of all these people where English isn't even the first language, and they're coming to a train station which is terribly laid out. There's an amount of stress and anger and frustration that's going to be created. That's what I feel. It's been designed that way.
Because I don't come to London much, and I sort of remember Stratford as the old station. But it's not. It's a brand new station, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
it's not even 5 years old.
It was created for the Olympic Village, I believe, or it was expanded upon. I don't know. I've only ever been there once. It was because I was heading north up towards Braintree, and it was due to go from there, but it was quite an epic journey to find actually what platform I was supposed to be on. But I do feel that the system operates in a way that to create more stress, more anxiety.
Yeah.
And which creates, more anger and frustration, and people get wound up, and that's what I feel that they want, society to be in. They don't want people to be relaxed and chilled and calm.
I can see it, because in your daily life, because for anything else, you are a businessman, you run a shop, so therefore you're tied into all the things that other businesses have to do, like paying bills and tax and God knows what else. And again, I've always found
that is the most unlawful thing I do. Sorry, carry on.
Whenever you're dealing with bureaucracy,
as
a private individual or as a sole trader or a small company, the hoops you have to jump through, because these people go to work at 9 o'clock and pack up at 5, don't they? Where you as a small businessman, your business could depend on that telephone call or getting the right answer. And I can see that they do. They really frustrate you sometimes. And the stuff that they ever come out with is just ludicrous.
Yeah.
Because
should we get back to hemp?
Absolutely.
I was the one who went on the tangent.
Hey, down in Braintree, that reminds me. I'll tell you who's been coming into my consciousness a lot just lately. That was the fella that lived down that way. Was he the tree finder? Buster somebody?
Yeah, I know. Buster Nolan. Stood for as an MP a few times for some, I don't know, whether it's Legalised Cannabis Alliance or something.
Yeah, and he wrote a really nice poetry book as well.
Mm.
Poetry. And
Yeah.
He's been out for a while. That's nice. Yeah, I've been thinking about him a lot just lately. I don't know why. It just keeps popping into my consciousness. So, are you going to do some more poetry for us today on that subject? You got another poem for us? Because people really like that.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah? Oh, we could take another
I'm going to think of one which I know this one off by heart, because not all of it I know off by heart. But this one isn't actually, it is inspired by cannabis, but it doesn't actually mention anything about cannabis. But it is, it's a positive it's a positive comment. It's for all light beings.
Fabulous.
And I've had some very good response to it as well. Every time I've shared it in a public. Light beings.
Should we do it before the break or after? We've got 7 minutes.
I'll easily rattle it off in less than 7 minutes. It's only a few minutes long.
Let's go there.
Okay. Here we go.
Excellent. Thank you.
My deepest desire is to inspire, to be a pillar of light into this world, shining brightly, cosmic consciousness flowing through this being, but is I. For I is all is I and I is eternal, no beginning and no end, for I is free of ego. That ego mind which is lost in time, there is no linear time, it's all just part of the cycle of the play in which we roll, the Leela which unfolds, as above, so below. A battle rages within and without. Two forces, yin and yang, projected by ego as good and bad, right and wrong, judged by mind. Please, feel with love. We are beings of love, so follow that feeling of love expanding from your heart. I've forgotten the rest of it now. I'll carry it on some other time, but it's all about we are beings of love. So shine your star. You are a star, superstar, light beings. Please fear not the dark. The light is within you to shine your way home to radiant star that you are, out of the prisons of your ego minds. Monkey minds gone mad? Have the mad monkeys taken over the asylum? Well, that would be hardly surprising in this age of Kali Yuga, an era of lies, deception and dishonesty, or so it has been foretold. Yet all is changing as we awake. So please wake up and shine your light, so that others may follow, and the 100th monkey does awake. The plot unravels, Babylon falls, angels rejoice, as a river of love flows from the hearts of all beings, drawing us together in an ocean of love. For we are home, we are free. Free love, that's me. Or something like that. I think I might have got a few lines mixed about there, but yeah, I'm an amateur poet. I'd like to become a more full-time poet because I love it, and it is something it's getting a message across to people in a positive way.
Well, I'd like to say, Free, that I've seen you perform a couple of times at various events, and I've always enjoyed your performance.
Yeah.
So if anybody's out there that ever gets a chance, and Rob's about, Free's about, and go and see if you give a poetry reading. They're really nice. You put some across really well. Yeah.
That actually reminds me. I can finish because I know we had a bit of it was all getting a bit tight for time yesterday at the end. Monday, as it were.
Slightly.
That's okay. And I was explaining about that CD that I sent you, Hempathic Beings.
Yeah.
Now on there's 3 tracks by my friends Sally and Joseph. Jay Ganja, Crystal Flowers, and Santa Maria, all songs about cannabis. And it was at the wedding where, as I say, I was the best man. I'd promised them that I would facilitate the recording of their cannabis tunes, because it's not only songs, but their songs are very rainbow, earth mother loving sort of music, but they have written songs about cannabis, and these 3 tunes were recorded and has gone onto this album, and the more long-term plan of it is to record some of the cannabis poems that I've written, along with some other, hopefully with Tony's song as well, and some other like cannabis songs, and put that on an album called Hempathic Beings, and distribute it around the world freely with love. Because it's a very beautiful thing to do, and that's what I promised them to do. And I think I've put about 300 or so of those CDs, one of which I sent you, out. So it is getting out there, and people love it. So if you do get a chance, do have a listen to it.
I will do. I haven't got a. I'm
you haven't got a CD player, have you?
No, I've gone all Mac, and it's like you don't get CD players with Macs. I tell you what else you can do with that if you're up for it. If at some point we get together and we download it onto a recording track, and then I can archive it. Yeah?
I think somewhere when we recorded it, I'm going to speak to the guy, the sound engineer who did it all, and I'll get it sent as an MP3 or some other audio file, and then you can upload it and do whatever, play it in that way.
If we download it onto my web thing, that gets archived then onto the SoundCloud, and it'll be there forever. It'll be there forever and ever. All the time the internet's up, it'll be there. Huh? Cool. So that's another way we can put it out without even. And that way we don't even have to use CDs then. So we make hemp CDs, hemp plastic ones. Yes.
Ideally, that would be nice.
Yes, I think that's not far away. I've seen some interesting stuff with the plastics now.
What, the actual CD itself, or the because I've seen the CD casings made out of hemp plastic.
I've seen the CD casings, and also as well, I think that within the next, it's always hard with these technological to put a thing on them, but in the very near future, I think that they've made some massive breakthroughs on the polymer, and things like sort of CDs, even though they are a bit of a thing of the past, that could be one of the formats that they could use. So certainly looking at vinyl, bringing back vinyl, it makes really good, for the vinyl records, that type of plastic.
Right.
So, it's going to be interesting to see where these
scratch-proof.
Scratch-proof, static-proof, last forever. Literally, you remember when they brought
big
out
though, isn't it, for the modern world?
Well, times change, don't they? Carting around a big old bag of big sort of records.
Light case of records, isn't it?
It's a bit gone. But nevertheless, if ever I brought maybe a classic LP again, maybe I would buy it on vinyl if it was like an organic one. I don't know. It's just going to show that this is, these are possibilities where this stuff is going to be going in the near future. Yeah, that they can actually get it to that consistency where they can start using it for all sorts of things. Yeah, which would be great. Organic plastics made from the hemp plant. Oh, other plants, but hemp just makes the best one. Yeah. Right, we're off another break in 38 minutes. Let's pay the bill and worship our sponsors. Hello, sponsors. We love you. And is Casper going to play the button? Yes, I think so.
You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends.
If you are in the Portland, Oregon area and are an OMMP card holder, then come down to Nikki's Diggity Dank Market, Portland, Oregon's first and only weekly OMMP market, presented by the Alternative Wellness Center, located at 5241 Southeast 72nd Avenue, 2 blocks south of Foster Boulevard, close to public transportation, held every Sunday 10 a.m. till 7 p.m., connecting quality vendors with patients. Nikki's Diggity Dank Market also has a weekly raffle with products from every vendor. So come down to Nikki's Diggity Dank Market and have fun while connecting with quality vendors and getting great natural medicine. If you are a vendor and want a chance to connect with OMMP patients, you can check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/Alternative Wellness Center or call 971-888-4392. Be sure to register early because space is limited. Nikki's Diggity Dank Market.
In need of a ganja vacation? Blaze away.
Don't criticize it.
Hotbox Jamaica. Chill. Relax and burn all day while watching the amazing ocean view. Listen to the birds. Bathe in the mineral waters of the Ganja River. Munch on tasty Jamaican Rasta food. Take a weed farm tour and hold a meditation. Book this amazing vacation for $420. Get the Sativa Special. 7 nights in Sativa dorms with ganja meals and airport transfer. Check us out at hotboxjamaica.com. That's hotboxjamaica.com. Hotbox Jamaica, a higher meditation vacation.
Indigrow is your source for affordable induction grow lighting. First discovered in 1891 by Nikola Tesla, Indigrow lights deliver 11 years of electronic sunlight to your plants. Indigrow lamps require less than half the power of traditional HID lamps. Converting to Indigrow lights means you'll cut down on your power bill with less lighting. Indigrow lamps also use 5 times less mercury than traditional fluorescent or HID lamps, making Indigrow not only energy efficient but environmentally friendly as well. No more switching out lamps between vegetative and flowering stages. As nature intended, your lights get a steady dose of UV light. That makes your plants grow healthier and stronger. Indigrow products are manufactured in San Diego, California, and come with a written 10-year warranty. What Tesla knew, then growers know now, is that Indigrow lighting is the cost-effective addition to your victory garden. To learn more or order now, go to inda-grow.com. That's INDA-GRO.com, or call 877-452-2244 to answer any of your questions. These guys really know lights. Indigrow really is your sunlight in a box.
Free? Did you say free? Free hemp? Free hemp? Free hemp video and audio? Free downloads of all the top artists, all the pot artists on planet Earth. Interviews with all the people making the movement, making the hemp movement. It's time for hemp. That's right, world. It's time for hemp. That's right, world. It's time for hemp.
Rationality, liberality, open out your minds. The sun is closing in and we're running out of time. There's no point in worrying, no wondering what to do, cause the answer's in the colour green, it's shining through and through. Cannabis, cannabis will save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis, it's a very useful weed. Cannabis, cannabis will save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is very good indeed. Cannabis, cannabis will save the planet with cannabis. Cannabis, cannabis is a very useful
Look, sometimes the breaks, I'll tell you, we're going to have to start recording some of these breaks because they're better. Like, you know, I don't watch telly anymore, but you used to have like outtakes of things, and we've really got to start recording because we just had a hilarious one that I'm going to share. Casper has been asking me in the little Skype window box what my guest name is, right? And I've been sending Casper the bio all day because Free's name is legally changed by Deepole to Free Cannabis. That is his legal name. So Casper's writing in the box, what is your guest name? I'm writing Free Cannabis. So Casper's going, no, what is your guest name? And I'm writing Free Cannabis.
How about Mr. Free Cannabis?
Well, I've actually just put that in. I've just put that in the. You've read my mind. The free. I've just put that in the box. But during the break, we had to explain to Caspar that Free's name is Free Cannabis.
It has created some.
So, Caspar, what is my guest name today?
Free Cannabis. Yoo-hoo.
That's Mr. to you. Cheeky monkey. That's Mr. Free Cannabis.
Mr. Anyway, Free Cannabis is for Babylon.
Anyway, during the break as well, Casper's decided that he's going to change his name to Giving Head. So that's what we do during the break, folks, just in case you was wondering. I think I'd prefer to listen to the adverts, but... There you go.
I think, if anything, I'll choose Give Me Hemp.
Yeah, give me hemp. Yeah, well... I think
give me a head full of hemp.
Give me a head full of hemp. We'll be all inclusive then.
Talking of which, that brings us on to the nutritional benefits of hemp, rather, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Right. You make nice milk. You can give them the milk recipe. Go on,
okay, well, to make hemp milk at its very basics, you just need some hemp seed. and then a way of mashing them up some way. Now, if you really want to get into the, pardon me, I've been drinking kombucha, so a kombucha burp. Actually, Prince Charles was in town yesterday, and he drank a bottle of kombucha, apparently. I missed it.
I've got one of his stickers where he says MS sufferers should try cannabis.
Cannabis, yeah. I remember that. It's in the song, isn't it? Even Prince Charlie has a high regard for weed. He recommends it to MS sufferers who are in desperate need. That's it.
Yeah, he did actually quote that on more than one occasion. So come on, Charlie, step up to the mark and get this legalisation nonsense sorted out. We can't put up with it no more.
Anyway,
go for it.
Back to the hemp milk. So, for most practicalities,
Can you do the real spiritual one? The
most like on it way, if you really want to get into the vibration of it, is to get a pestle and mortar or one of those like in India you have those like it's like a slab with a quite a phallic looking stone to roll over it, like a long rolling pin sort of thing, and you either crush your seeds in the pestle and mortar, or you roll your seeds back and forth over one of those slab things. Basically, you just break the seeds down, add some water, and then using either a filter bag or a sieve, you sieve out the shells. I mean, you can drink the shells. It's just that most people prefer pure white milk, which is what you get when you filter the shells out. Now, that's the very basic of hemp milk. Pardon me. You can also do that in a Vitamix. A blender. Vitamix. I just mentioned one trade name.
That's all right.
NutriBullet is also any sort of blender. I even got given one of these like plastic ones when I bought some stationery. And that worked for years. So you don't need a high power blender. Blend it through a sieve, muslin cloth, and you've got plain white milk. And then to that, which you can drink on its own, it's great, or you can use that as a base to make hemp smoothies. Put some bananas in there, or other soft pulpy fruits, strawberries, whatever, blackberries. Blend that up, and you've got a super healthy hemp milk. And you can also blend in other superfoods like maca, spirulina, chlorella, whatever. Blend it all up.
So on a techie side on that, if you was making the juice for the milk, the mother's milk, the cannabis milk for one person, how much seed would you use per person?
I personally use quite a lot, so
What's quite a lot? A handful?
A good heaping handful for like
a heaping handful. Yeah.
But like a couple of tablespoons will do.
Yeah.
You don't have to use as much, but I just like to really ram in as much hemp into my body as I can.
Yeah, I find I'm with you actually on that one. I sort of tend to use a handful, and I always say, well, if somebody uses a handful, obviously a small person is a small hand, and a big person is a big hand. Yeah. That's a good, and I like the consistency of a handful of hemp seed.
Yeah, it's enough.
Not too thick, not too thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost. I like mine almost to a cow's milk consistency.
Right.
Yeah, that's the consistency I quite like. Maybe it's because I'm familiar with cow's milk, being brought up on it as a child. Maybe that's where my hardwiring is. But yeah, when it's too thick, I find it a bit, and if it's too thin, it's a bit too watery. That's the handful to a cupful of water. I find you get a good blend out of that.
But the thing about, I mean, we're talking now about cow's milk. Well, yeah, I get it, but a lot of people are still very used to that and brought up on that. But nutritionally, hemp is just so way superior to cow's milk. The thing is, cow's milk is designed for baby cows. There's no other animal on this planet which drinks milk beyond its infant stage. Yet we drink milk from foreign animals into adulthood. And we do have a lot of problems with that. Firstly, there's all like the glues which are in it. The casein or something, I can't remember what it's called now. But
it's horrible. Let's put it this way. Cut a long story short, is there anything left in milk which is good for human beings? I don't think there is.
Oh, I feel there are some beneficial things in there.
What compared to all the rubbish they put in?
Well, it's where you get your milk from. I used to be quite a hardcore vegan, and then I went out to live in the mountains of Spain, and then I had the great opportunity of having goat's milk literally from the goat, milked and then handed straight to me. Yeah. And it was from goats who I saw every day. Yeah. They ate from all the wild greens around where I lived. They were well looked after. They lived wild. They weren't caged up. I mean, they were in a big pen, but that was, so they didn't go wandering off at night.
Stop the fox.
But they were free range, and they were looked after, and their milk was very different. I mean, I haven't tasted.
Very different to commercial cow's milk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the commercial milk is horrendous when you consider how the animals are treated. That's another whole mole issue.
Absolutely.
But the thing is that the other thing is it's also becomes very acidic in the body, and a big problem then with the acid-forming foods is that we draw minerals from the bone marrow to neutralise the acidity of the milk, primarily calcium. So there's this myth going around that's saying, drink milk, it's full of calcium, it's good for you. That's a big lie. Yeah. It actually strips calcium from your body.
Strips calcium. That's its actual reverse.
And then when it's a total utter lie that they're giving us.
Yeah, and then all the hormones they put into it.
Then it's all the chemical additives,
I don't think that commercial cow's milk these days has got a lot going for it at all.
But in hemp, you've got the perfect balance, all your key essential nutrients. It's got that perfect balance of the fats, the omega-3 and 6, as well as the omega-9, the gamma-linoleic acid. And the thing about the omega-3, as I touched on last time, we need omega-3. It's an essential fatty acid, and it's the one which is most missing out because it's the most volatile. It's the most prone to degradation if it's mistreated. So when you're making a hemp milk, it's something I would certainly recommend to drink, to prepare it and drink it. It's not something to be kept in a container and drunk later on, really. I mean, yes, it may keep for a little while, but you'll soon see that if you were to leave a jar of hemp milk, it wouldn't take that many hours before it starts separating out, and then it will start to turn. It will start going off. So hemp milk, prepared fresh and drunk fresh. So you've got your fats and then complete protein. And the thing about hemp protein, it's very high in globular-adestine. It's the easiest of all proteins to digest. So that's another myth about the dairy industry is you need to get all this protein from your cow's milk. The thing is that we don't have the necessary ability to actually fully digest the protein that is in cow's milk. It's a lot coarser and difficult to digest, and that's just in its raw form. When you start cooking it, the proteins coagulate and become almost impossible to digest. And then what happens? Well, you hear this expression, I feel like shit. And the thing is, to be perfectly honest, that is what people are feeling. On a cellular level, the undigested proteins accumulate in the intercellular wall, and people literally do feel like shit. And until one undertakes the thing of, cleansing and detoxifying the body of years of eating foods which are not best suited for human consumption, it's only then that we offload all of that shit, and you feel so much better. I mean, I've done a multitude of these, like Ejuva, Rise and Shine, and various cleanses and fasts, and I just feel so much better for it. But in fact, in a couple of weeks from now, I'll be starting my annual Super Hemp Me. Well, it's not really it's a fast, I suppose you could say. I just drink hemp milk and juices for 40 days leading up to my birthday. So I do that every year, have been for about 8 or so years now.
That's a lovely way to carry on.
Yeah, it's 40 days of, it's a bit of a challenge, but it's just mental, really, because you get used to eating food. It's that thing of reaching out and grabbing something and eating it. But get over that in the first, week or so, and then you feel great. And my last weekend of indulgence, I'm going to mention it now for those people living in England, especially those living near to Glastonbury. Not this weekend coming, but the following weekend, on the 19th of July, there'll be an event at Hemp in Avalon, which is 1A Marketplace, Glastonbury, called For the Love of Live Living Raw Foods, and it will be a day, it's my last weekend of indulgence into more gourmet raw foods. I mean, I will be showing how to make hemp milk, or how to make the hemp truffles, And then on the Sunday, weather permitting, if it's nice and sunny like it is now, we'll be having a cannabis picnic somewhere in Glastonbury, which will be of more sort of high THC cannabis treats to be shared for edible deliciousness.
How where else would you want to be? There you go. While you're on that subject as well, next week I believe we got the Raw Fest at Norton with.
Same weekend I'm doing it.
And is it the same weekend?
It is indeed, yeah.
Oh, right, so it's not next weekend, it's the weekend after.
Yeah.
Also, that weekend's a very busy weekend, so if you can't get to Norton to do the Raw Fest, if you can't get to Glastonbury, there's a third happening, which is down in Brighton, which is this new Patients Alliance group that are starting out, and they could do lots of support. And I believe that they've got Professor Nutt and Caroline Lucas on the stage giving a talk about the legalisation stuff. So again, that weekend, be somewhere, because there's lots of good cannabis information events and cannabis people out and about. You know, they're happening. Once upon a time, you couldn't find one for love and money. That weekend, we got 3. That's what we like to hear.
Hi.
Hello.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still there. We're still chatting away.
Yeah, cool. Well, I can still carry on a little bit more about the hemp nutrition.
That's fine, but I'll tell you what I was going to ask you about. Because let's go back to the seed thing, about the difference in seed between the genetics of... I tend to call the plant 2 different things these days. I'm sort of like agricultural hemp for industrial purposes and medical marijuana, though I don't like the word medical marijuana. But just for the sake of the conversation, yeah? So I know quite a lot about agricultural hemp seeds, but I know very little about the medical marijuana seeds, because there's not hundreds, there must be thousands.
Tens of thousands of varieties, my friend.
Wow, because you're quite well up on that, aren't you? You used to
it's my financially, it's my main business is selling cannabis seeds. However, there's so many strains out there now. I find some of the names really quite crazy, like hippie crack and psychosis. I like but there's other nice names like Love Soul or something, Soul Love or something. There's plenty of nice names out there. It's not all crazy names, but it's going a little bit off the scale now. I look forward to the day where someone has actually decides to get some good, strong land-raised genetics and breed out. And that's what someone did like 40-odd years ago. He went over to Nepal or somewhere in that region, bought a load back of seeds to England, to the Mendips, which is an area here in southwest England, and just grew them out, being laughed at, thinking, how can you possibly grow those seeds here? Some grew, some didn't, and those that did, he kept them and then grew them again, and like 40 years down the line, we have this strain effectively known as the Mendip Marauder, which I call the Mendip Muse, but it's an incredible strain. It grows like maybe 3-4 foot in height, and I had them fully flowered, some of them, by mid-July last year.
Fantastic. See, it does acclimatise very well.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're not down at Lawton, well, you'll be at Glastonbury that weekend. But I know some of your friends that will be at Lawton. I'll give them some seeds to send down to you. I've got some genetic lamb-raised seeds that are English.
Great.
Oh yeah, that come from good stock, proper stock.
Well, yeah, I look forward to the day when, because I mean, it's good business, but for me, I would love to be selling, a little bag of. Actually, I prefer to be giving them away, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. But to get the medical cannabis seeds down to a sensible price, especially these high CBD strains, because it's like that's one I started off a few weeks ago was the Medinome. It's one of these CBD crew auto flowering varieties. Yeah. But they sell for almost £10 a seed. And it's like, wow, okay, for what you get, it's still a great investment. I would much rather be, a pound or two or something like that, and there still must be good profit to be made for everyone.
You get kilos of seed off of a good plant.
Exactly.
Anyway, we've done the hour in. It's gone. Not a minute.
Oh, it's already gone, is it?
It's past. It goes so fast when we're having good fun. It's lovely to talk to you. Twice this week. I'm so lucky. Listen, I see you soon. Take care.
Yeah.
Lots of love. Big
love to all.
Yeah.
Keep it hemping.
If I don't see you before, I'll see you soon.
Cheers, mate. Bye for now.